It's 19 minutes to 8 o'clock, and over the last 18 months we've talked a lot about the pandemic and the impact it's had on all of our lives. Everything from, being poorly, being off work, the days when we couldn't get toilet roll, we needed to make fast face masks, all of that. We've guided you through it and told you what's going on. There's been some unexpected consequences as well, though, in terms of people's mental health and being locked away. And one of them that's been really, really stark, that we've discussed a couple of times on the programme, is the massive increase in people struggling with eating disorders in England. So the latest NHS figures show that hospital admissions, this is when people get really, really poorly, of teenagers with eating disorders in England have gone up by nearly 50% since the start of the pandemic. It's a crisis. It's really difficult for, families living with this. But there's something which might help, and it's really unusual, this. It's brand new for Nottinghamshire, and it's come from, of all places, a stand-up comedian called Dave Chawner. He himself had anorexia as a young man, and he's used comedy to make sense of his illness. He's now worked with experts at the University of Nottingham to develop an online comedy course for people recovering from similar eating disorders. Dave's on the line. Hello, Dave. Good morning.
Hello, Sarah. How are you?
I'm really well, thank you. We have reported on this a few times, and actually I've got some personal experience, which I won't go into, but I've seen close hand how awful, devastating, traumatic this is to live with an eating disorder. How on earth is it funny? What's fun? There's nothing funny about it at all.
There isn't, and I think this is the thing. There's a difference between joking about something and joking around it. But in order to put that into some sort of perspective, I remember I was obsessed with exercising, so I was constantly exercising any time I'd eaten anything. And I remember I was constantly running up to my room and sort of doing push-ups, sit-ups, press-ups. And I remember saying to my mum when I was writing the show about the anorexia, I said, surely you knew about the exercise. And my mom said, well, to be honest, Dave, when your teenage son keeps on running up to his room and all you can hear is rhythmical banging that's followed by repeated grunting, you tend not to ask questions. And it's moments
okay,
like
that is funny. That is funny.
That
you're right.
Kind of see through the veil. And I think that's exactly what the comedy course is trying to do, is actually sensitively use comedy, because comedy is a very big part of people's lives, in order to talk about perhaps more challenging moments.
So how have you done this with the university?
So working with the University of Nottingham and the University of Kent and King's College London, we've created a comedy course in order to build people's confidence, their communication, and that connection with other people. We talk a lot about loneliness when we talk about mental health problems, but we also literally provide a platform for people to stand up for themselves. And the thing that really got me about my anorexia was people always say just talk, which is lovely and it's brilliant. But the problem is, if I could just talk, if I could just explain it, I'd sort it out myself. My problem was that I couldn't just talk. I couldn't make sense of it. And comedy has a brilliant ability to try and boil big topics down into little pithy sound bites. And that's what we're trying to do in the course, is trying to explain really difficult things that are challenging in a way that is simple, easy, and also not highfalutin, not full of this medical Latin and stuff, which is great if you're a doctor, but I ain't. And I don't think most people are. So it's trying to place it in the real world.
And have you tried it out on some teenagers?
Yeah. Basically, for this course, we're looking for over 18s for safeguarding, etc. We've done 2 courses already, and there's been Dr. Dieter Leclerc at the University of Kent and also Professor Heike Bartel at Nottingham University. And she's done the course, and she was absolutely amazing at it. And it's been genuinely, it's made me so proud to see people come through. And we've had people talk about a range of different things. So we had people talking about OCD, people talking about dyslexia, but also just people talking about how they wanted to be cool or whatever. And it's really interesting what people have come up with. But this is the first big proper one where we're getting researchers and stuff to go alongside it. So we're really excited to see what the outcomes might be, because it could be a really low cost, high impact way of dealing with what is going to be an epidemic.
Yeah. What, you think this is going to get worse, do you? You think that what we've seen in the pandemic is just the start of it?
I think that there are a lot of people that don't associate with having an eating disorder. And I think a lot of people have disordered eating. perhaps not everyone has an eating disorder, but trying to glean a positive from a real negative. And obviously the past 18 months has been awful. But the fact that we are talking about it, the fact that we are doing this shows that there is help out there. And if anyone is struggling, you can go to BEAT, and their website is beateatingdisorders.org.uk, or the Hub of Hope for any mental health problem. That is the UK's biggest mental health database, and it uses the geolocation on your phone in order to pinpoint what nearest support there is to you right there. And I think the good thing is that we're getting loads of different types of support, and people are talking about it, and there is help, and you're not alone.
So are you looking for people to sign up for your course then? Do you want people to take part in it?
We would love that, yes. If you are over 18 and you have history of an eating disorder, whether that's diagnosed or undiagnosed, and you have a laptop or a computer with internet, please get in touch, info@davechawner.co.uk. And also, the final thing I will say is absolutely free, so no one pays anything.
Good to talk to you. Thanks ever so much. You've convinced
Sarah.
me. I started off not sure about that at all, but you've talked me around. Dave Chawner, lovely guy on BBC Radio Nottingham, and we've got his details here if you want to get in touch.